Ah, I'm here. All right. Sorry, everybody. Took me a little while. Well, only about 4 minutes, but, 4 or 5 minutes. But this has got a lot of buttons and a lot of little things here. So I don't know if you're out there, but I'm going to do a mini show today. By Wednesday, we'll have this down. So first of all, I want to say hello again. I'm Chip. CJ, unfortunately, is not here. Keep him in your thoughts. He is here. He is on the mend. I will keep you posted on him, and hopefully we can get him back on the air shortly. He may be well enough now to I can drop a tap off to him, and he can be on the show. So I don't know if anybody's out there. I didn't really publicize the show because I figured this would be a fiasco the first time I'm on the air. But and running this board is probably not really that complicated once you get used to it. But there's a lot of buttons here and a lot of different things to manipulate this thing around. So, but obviously we missed a lot of shows. We had so much to talk about. Unfortunately, we've had 2 plane crashes, and I know some of the Trump haters blame Trump for plane crashes, but it's a tragedy. That second plane crash, they're still getting details on it in Philly. I think that was a Mexican plane, and they had a plane crash a few years ago, and we get details. We get more details on that stuff, and we can deal with it, but. Things have been going at warp speed. Hard to go back and cover things once I get used to getting some comments and how to get the comments up here and get some people back so we can talk. It'll be easier for me to get into a dialogue with you guys. But since I'm on here, talking to myself maybe, but let me do a little monologue on, the ridiculousness of some of the stuff we hear. We hear all kinds of things about Donald Trump, and the Trump haters are they're still hating, and they're talking about the price of eggs, even though the price of eggs went up 65%. Last year under Biden, and they killed 1 million chickens because of Biden, but it's not an issue. The border is closed. Fundamentally, it's being closed. We've got thousands and thousands of criminals being removed from the United States, rapists and murderers and gang members, but everybody wants to talk about eggs, and it's going to take time. Oh, he hasn't reduced the price of eggs. He hasn't been in office a month yet. It takes time. It took time to get here. It took Biden 4 years to destroy the world and the country. Although he got off to a very good start. And Trump got off to a very good start, too. He signed like 300 executive orders and got rid of DEI, and but nobody cares about that. They're just going to point to whatever little thing they can. Give the guy 4 years. Let's see if the economy straightens out. Talking about tariffs being bad, tariffs are being good. Well, they were good enough to get Mexico to take the illegals and Colombia to take the illegals, and Canada and Mexico now are balking, but they put tariffs on our goods. They always have. They've screwed us all the time. And Canada booed the American national anthem at a hockey game, so I'm booing them. We don't need Canada. Trump is right. Biden shut down all the oil production. We buy oil from Canada. probably just to give them a helping hand. We don't need Canada. We don't need Mexico either. They need us. They can talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk. They can't exist on their own. Half of the people in Mexico are employed with American companies that have moved to Mexico. And this is Trump's attempt to get those companies back to employ American people. These people have no fundamental economy. Canada's got they've got oil, but not as much as us. They've got some natural resources, but not as much as us. Fact is, they need us. This is all political rhetoric, and let's see what happens. I know one thing, that they've dragged a bunch of murderers and killers and put them on a plane and shipped them back. Their own countries didn't want them. Their own countries didn't want them. That shows how bad they were. They dumped all their jails. Trump was right. They dumped their mental institutions and their jails out and sent them all here. But now they're going back. And DEI, well, didn't earn it. DEI is not good for anybody. People should be judged on merit, not the color of their skin, as Martin Luther King said, on the content of their character. What does DEI get you? I know a little bit about firefighting. Look what happened in LA. You had a chief and two deputy chiefs, and one of them said, if you're in a building, I can't get you out. Didn't have the physical ability to be a firefighter. Firefighters' jobs to protect lives and property and get people out of buildings. We showed you that article when we saved CJ's aunt. That was a heroic rescue. Irony Doobie. He went in there, and one of the best rescues I've ever seen. I ran that fire. She threw two babies out the window. What should we have done? If I was a DEI hire, I might say, hey, you can't do nothing. She got herself in the wrong place. That's exactly what she said. Well, you're in the wrong place. People get intentionally trapped in fires. That's not what firefighting's about. And I'm going to tell you a dirty little secret that a lot of people don't know. LA's been doing this for decades. When LA wanted women on the job in LA, they put women on the job, and then they released a video of them attempting to put up a 50-foot Banga ladder, which is very heavy. It was wooden. It has what they call tormenta poles. To help put it up, it takes 5 people to put the ladder up. But if you're trapped and you need a 50-foot ladder, they better get it up. Well, the training officers released a video of the women trying to get that ladder up all day, and they couldn't get it up. Too heavy. You know why? Because they reduced the physical standards. When I came on a job, a high percentage of men failed the physical to get on a fire department. So what did they do? Change the physical. So dead people could pass the physical. Does that help your public safety? No. I don't care whether you're a woman or a man. If you can pass the physical, because firefighting is an extremely physical job. And here you have an example. Many years later, that was 25 years ago when LA had that incident. You know what they did? They fired the training officers for telling the truth. Democratic state. So this is what you get with DEI. Then you put DEI. Biden released the thing that he said he wanted air traffic controllers that were mentally ill. And had psychological problems. How can you do that? It's one of the most important jobs in the world. You got hundreds and hundreds of lives here. You're going to worry about what you're going to hire people that are not mentally capable. There are a lot of jobs for people who are challenged. You see them in the supermarkets, you see them in McDonald's, you see them in a lot of places. Those jobs are, they're within the scope of their ability, and they should work. It makes them, it makes them feel productive, and it's good for them. But you don't put those people in jobs that require unique qualifications. Firefighters are supposed to be able to climb ladders, rip ceilings down, drag holes up 3 floors, climb on roofs and chop holes, and get people out of buildings. I carried my share of people out of buildings. Carried them, dragged them, got them out. No water in the hydrants. No water in the reservoirs because they wanted to protect the shrub. They all knew it was coming. We've had wildfires in California for decades. They didn't cut back the brush. They didn't do anything. Now everybody's trying to rewrite history and say, oh, what a great job they did. They weren't capable of doing a job. Those people, shame on a firefighters union, the International, for allowing this and not saying something about it. It's got nothing to do with what their sexual preference or pronouns is. They can't do the frickin' job. These people are supposed to be professional firefighters. It is a professional firefighter's job to protect lives and property. And you can't do that if you're so physically unfit. You tell somebody in a camera that you can't do the job. And the IAFF never stepped in and said, no, this is not right. They should be pushing to reinstitute the physical standards. And I don't care if you're a freaking Martian. If you could do what we used to have to do in our physical, you could be on a job. You had to climb a rope without using your feet. You had to climb it up. You had to climb 20, 25 feet up a rope to get 100. And if you only get up 20 feet or 15 feet, you got a 70. And that you failed. You had to vault over a 5'6" bar, like you were jumping over something. You had to stand in a box, run over to a ladder, climb up a 24-foot ladder to a balcony, run across the balcony, pick up a 125-pound dummy, throw it on your shoulder, run back across the balcony, come down the ladder, and take that dummy to the box you started off at in a limited amount of time. If you could do that, you could be a firefighter. If you couldn't do that, you couldn't be a firefighter. But you know what they did to make sure? They changed that. We had like 45 seconds to do that. They replaced it with 2 steps and a platform and 2 steps down. And then you could drag it. You didn't have to pick it up and put it on your shoulder and carry it down the ladder like we did. You could drag it. Drag the dummy from one side of the platform to the other, and they gave you 5 minutes to do it. That's the new physical. That's what they did. It's been like that for years now. Dead people can pass that. 5 minutes? 5 minutes at a working fire, the fire's gone. And the people are dead. So I'm glad I'm getting to say this. Maybe not a lot of people are hearing it, but I'm saying it. Because I watch this stuff and it's infuriating, those Biden idiots. This is what he's done to this country in every single job. And I don't want to hear it because, they're talking about oh, DEI's gone. It's not DEI. It's about merit. It's about merit. Look at our military. Destroyed our military. 70% of the people in this country can't even pass the physical now to get into the military. Nobody wants to go in because they're more worried about pronouns. And so Trump's changing that and they're all upset. So good for him. I don't care. I don't care, man, woman. You want to wear a dress when you're off duty? Go ahead. I don't care what you do. When you're at a fire, you've got a job to do. And the bottom line is you're supposed to be able to do that job. Same thing with police officers. Same thing with air traffic controllers. Or as the president's new press secretary said, it's common sense. He said, when you're on a plane, do you want to make sure that your plane, that you get to where you want to go safely? Or you are going to be worried about that the person who's driving the plane doesn't have the color skin that you want flying the plane. I want somebody flying the plane that knows how to fly the plane. These people are batshit crazy. This is what they've done to this country. Everything is about, oh, we all have to look like, we all have to, we have to be diverse. Well, you can be diverse with your circle of friends. You can be diverse with what you want. But when it comes to things that you're being paid to do, like a job or in sports, there has to be fairness, not equity. You can't let men box with women and fracture their skulls like they did in the Olympics. Can't let men who can't even perform well enough to be even in the middle of the pack with men now dominate women's sports after we spent tens of millions of dollars to create women's athletics, which is good. Let women compete with people who are physiologically the same as them. But this is what these clowns did for 4 years. And they're saying, oh, Biden didn't do anything. Number one, he was brain damaged, and they've admitted it. His own people are now saying from the first day in office, they were hiding him. So he's not running the country anyway. So they want to condemn everything the guy does. I may not agree with what he's doing. Well, let's see what happens, though. I'm going to give him, he made tariffs work in his first term. We had a few presidents who used tariffs and used them very well. Actually, the economies when those presidents were around, McKinley, and they were used and our economy thrived. It takes a while. But, let's see where this goes. Trump's saying we don't need these people. Let's prove it. We keep saying that Americans keep saying we're the best. We're the best at everything. We're not the best. We're 26th in healthcare. 26th in overall healthcare. We spend more than any other country on the planet. We're 26th in healthcare. We got the oil. When Trump was around, we were doing well. Gas was down. Let's see what happens. Let's prove America's the best. We don't need anybody. Europe pays, China pays, 30 million. We pay 500 million to these organizations, but they don't need us. Nobody needs America, they say. We need them. Well, if we need them, we'll have to eat the shit. But I don't think we do. Because without us in World War II, everybody'd be speaking German. Because they drove because Hitler drove them right off. Right into the sea. He drove the British Army. after he'd captured all of continental Europe. The last thing left was Britain, and he drove them right off at Dunkirk. They were coming across the English Channel in rowboats to rescue their troops. And who took it back? America. That's who took it back. All you whiny little snowflakes whining about, oh. Look, the world's a real tough place. In the real world, not the government, not the place that you can go to work and never show up, take bubble baths while you're at work, make mega money, and then whine when somebody tells you you actually have to show up for work while we're renting empty buildings where you're supposed to be working for the last 4 years. But that's okay with you. But you bitch about the cost of everything. How many billions of dollars are we spending paying these people who are doing virtually nothing? And what do we get? They get paid, we get taxed. I just heard 149 IRS agents owe nearly $1 billion in back taxes. Some of them haven't filed their taxes in decades. Again, no oversight. That's not the real world. You go out, you're not, you didn't inherit millions of dollars from mommy and daddy. You don't go on and play roles as an actor and get millions of dollars, or go on a stage and sing and get millions of dollars and go back to your palatial estate. Get out in the street. Nobody gives you shit out there. You got to earn it. Life's like a grindstone. It either grinds you down into dust or it polishes you. You got to be tough. And we're building up and we've gotten and created a couple of generations of snowflakes who curl up in a little ball every time something bad happens. They'll picket, they'll scream, and they'll yell, overthrow the government, and then they go 2 hours without food. And they're crying. They're asking the people that condemn them to send them pizzas and food and vegan food. How long do you think those people are going to last in a real war? 2 hours. They were crying already. America was built by hardy people. They went across the country. Many of them were killed by Indians, and, they struck out and left the coast and went to Middle America, got land, created this country. They were hard people. They had a hard life. But that's what you got to be. This is all bullshit. These people are going to spend the next 4 years whining and pissing and moaning about what this guy's doing, and let's see what happens. And if he does anything really bad and things get shitty, well, they'll be out of office. All of them. They got the ball now. 4 years, we got nothing done. Biden never did anything except diminish the power of the United States. Now we got a guy in there with a set of balls. And he said, America's great. We're great. And I'm going to prove it. So I'm going to let him try. So what's going to happen? Either he's going to prove we are what we say we are, or what a lot of us think we are. And if we're not, well, then we'll have to accept the fact that America is not that great. That we're just another country that needs everybody else, not the premier power of the world. that everybody says we are. That's the reality of life. So I don't. I think that's about it for me today. That's pretty good. About 33 minutes here. And oh, wait a minute. I'm getting stuff here. Oh, Jeff, God, see, I'm glad I looked. I'm so busy, wrapped up. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, no, it's true. You know, it, yeah, you get equal pay if you do equal work, Jeff. You're right. I don't care what sex you are. I don't care what I don't care what you are. You can be an alien. I don't give you. If I got some Martian giving me a hamburger, as long as he's cooking a hamburger, I want the, he should get equal pay, just like I was all for equal pay for women. But I'm not for unequal advantages for people. That's what I'm not for. You don't let a 135-pound man fight a 135-pound woman, because a 135-pound male Olympic weightlifter can outlift the women's heavyweight lifter. Well, not anymore, because they'll let a male that is, but probably still outlift them. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you get equal pay for equal work. But the key is you've got to be able to do the work. When you're getting equal pay and you can't do the work, like the firefighter who can't carry anybody out of a building, that says everything about what's wrong with the country now, with this DEI crap. Like Martin Luther King said, it's not just, Trump saying meritocracy. It's Martin Luther King said, long for the day when people are judged on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. That's right. The content of their work ethic. That's what you want. And so pass the word, Jeff, that we're back on the air. It looks like I can almost negotiate through this now. I don't know how to put it on the screen yet, but I'll have to figure that one out between now and Wednesday. Yeah, it's crazy. We got a guy that's been in less than a month, and it's an innovation, and nobody worried about the price of eggs when Biden was in. Nobody worried about killing millions of chickens. Nobody worried about the price went up 65% was Biden was in. They just fudged the numbers like they did with the work statistics. They always had to lower them after they initially said it, just like they said the border was closed, and it wasn't. So, well, we're off to a fairly decent start. Jeff, I'm glad to see you on. At least now I know I'm gonna next on Wednesday we should be a little bit better at this by Wednesday. The only thing I got to figure out what I did to not put myself on the screen. And now I know how to get into the comments. Now I know how to get into the comments, and now I got to learn how to post those comments. All right, there's a little thing over here. So with that, let's see, it is 37 minutes. And of course, I blew 7 minutes. So we got a little half an hour. Got a little half an hour on it. You and I will talk at some point. I gotta do some snow shoveling. I just cleared enough for me to get out to the yard. I gotta go clean. I gotta go do my driveway. So the mailman, just in case the mailman gets here while there's still snow in the driveway. And Jeff, thanks for showing up, man. We'll pass the word a little bit. Tell the people that Spindle City is now back on. Now I got to try to figure out how to get guests on. Maybe Wednesday I'll try to uh, send you a link, and you had a little difficulty when you fed. This thing's it's I guess it's once you learn it and you know which button you got to hit, it's okay. But there's like 7 million buttons over here, all kinds of pictures and single person, two people, group things, and all kinds of other stuff, and comments and banners and media assets and stuff. So it's a little takes a little getting used to. It took CJ when we first got on. We couldn't do some of the stuff he could do, but it's going to take me a bit of time. But with that, well, it says we got 3 people watching. I don't know who else is watching, but the other 2, hello. Uh, so it is what it is. Let's try to keep the people who died in the plane crash, the 2 plane crashes, obviously. The one in D.C. Military people. There's going to be a major investigation, but it still doesn't change the fact, even if there were errors made, that it's a tragedy. And just keep those people in your thoughts and prayers. And I will see you all on Wednesday. So with that, I will say, everybody have a good day. Uh, be careful out there, and I will see you guys on Wednesday at 10. Thank you.